Okay, 4748 France, correct?
Correct.
All right, great. Now tell me exactly what happened there.
My boyfriend and I were playing last night, and I put him in a suitcase and we were playing. And like kind of hide and seek kind of thing. So I fell asleep and I woke up and he was dead in the suitcase. So I don't know what happened.
Hey everybody, welcome back, or to the channel. My name's Mike. Today we're discussing the shocking case that gripped the nation, the Sarah Boone suitcase murder. It was February 2020 when this chilling story began. Sarah Boone, a 42-year-old woman from Winter Park, Florida, found herself at the center of a horrific crime. One night, she and her boyfriend, 42-year-old Jorge Torres, were spending time together at her apartment. Although they shared a close relationship, they had a complicated history marked by arguments and trouble with the law. On this particular night, friends noticed that they had been drinking, and it seemed like a typical evening, but things soon took a terrifying turn. As we piece together the events of that night, it's important to understand the dynamics of their relationship. There were alarm bells ringing, with past police reports detailing incidents of domestic disturbances, but on this night, things escalated in a way that no one could have predicted. After several hours together, something went terribly wrong. Sarah Boone claimed she and George were just fooling around. She described an act of play where she had zipped him inside a suitcase as a joke. But things quickly became serious. As time passed, George started to panic inside the suitcase. He yelled for help, but Sarah didn't let him out right away. In fact, she didn't let him out of the suitcase at all. He was locked in that suitcase for a couple of hours.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
Fuck you.
Sarah.
Fuck you.
Sarah.
Stupid.
Sarah.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
Sarah. I can't fucking breathe, babe. Seriously.
Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me.
When she finally opened the suitcase, George was unresponsive. Desperate, she called 911, claiming she had accidentally killed him during their playful act. The 911 call became a crucial part of the investigation. Let's take a moment to listen to those chilling moments.
911, what is the location of your emergency?
4748 France Court, apartment 3.
4748, what's the street name?
France, Frantz.
And the apartment number?
3.
Is this a police or medical?
My boyfriend is dead.
Okay, send the line for the fire department. Do not hang up.
Fire rescue. What's the location, Mercy?
Desk 32.
No, please don't leave.
4748 France Lane, apartment 3.
France Court.
France Court.
Yes.
Okay, is this near Mackenzie Drive?
I don't know where that is.
Okay, fine, okay.
It's Hillwood Park Apartments.
Okay, 4748 France, correct?
Correct.
All right, great. Now tell me exactly what happened there.
My boyfriend and I were playing last night, and I put him in a suitcase and we were playing. And like kind of hide and seek kind of thing. So I fell asleep and I woke up and he was dead in the suitcase. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
Right, okay, what's the apartment number?
3.
I don't know.
Apartment 3?
Yes, like he has like blood coming out of his mouth, and I don't know if like he had like an aneurysm or what happened.
Right, okay, all right, okay. This is getting up.
Listening to this call, you can hear the panic in her voice, but many questioned her story. Was it truly an accident or something far more sinister? When the police arrived, they found George's body still in the suitcase. They quickly noticed signs that pointed to foul play. George had trauma on his body and evidence of strangulation. The police conducted interviews and began to piece together what happened that night. Sarah Boone's story raised many eyebrows, especially given her history with George. Detectives also discovered that Sarah had looked up "How long does it take to die in a suitcase?" on her phone. This detail added to the growing suspicion surrounding her actions that evening. After gathering evidence and conducting interviews, the police arrested Sarah Boone. She faced serious charges, including second-degree murder. As the news of the case broke, it captured headlines across the country. People were shocked and horrified. How could something so tragic and bizarre happen? This was not just a simple accidental death. There were elements that pointed to a darker narrative. The trial began in early 2023. The courtroom was filled with journalists and spectators, all curious about the case. Sarah's defense claimed that this was just an unfortunate accident, a night of reckless fun gone wrong. They painted a picture of a loving couple engaged in a harmless prank that spiraled out of control. On the other side, prosecutors argued that Sarah intentionally killed George out of a growing rage during their argument. They pointed to Sarah's past behavior, her previous domestic disputes, and the chilling internet searches. As the trial unfolded, it revealed the complexities of their relationship. Family and friends shared how often Sarah and George fought and how volatile their relationship could be. The closing arguments in the case were intense. The prosecutors urged the jury to look past the idea that this was merely an accident. They highlighted the evidence of premeditation, pointing out Sarah had the opportunity to let George out, but chose not to. In a fervent appeal to the emotions of the jury, the prosecutor described George as a man who, despite his troubles, had a family who cared about him. They urged the jury to think about George's last moments, trapped and terrified. On the flip side, Sarah's defense team argued passionately, reminding the jury that the case at its heart was not about a calculated murder, but rather about a regrettable situation that spiraled out of control. The emphasis that Sarah had no intention to harm George and that her actions came from a place of panic and confusion was their best defense. After days of deliberation, the jury finally reached a verdict. The courtroom was filled with tension as everyone awaited the decision that could change lives forever. When the jury announced their decision, the atmosphere shifted from hopeful to anxious. The jury found Sarah Boone guilty of second-degree murder.
The verdict form reads, in the Circuit Court of the 9th Judicial Circuit in and for Orange County, Florida, case number 48-2020-CF-002603-0, State of Florida Plaintiff versus Sarah Boone Defendant. Verdict. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the second degree as charged in the information. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of the lesser included offense of manslaughter. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of the lesser included offense of culpable negligence. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. So say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, on this blank day of blank, 2024, signed, foreperson.
Gasps filled the courtroom, and Sarah's face reflected disbelief. She had gone from a woman in love to a convicted felon in a matter of months. The verdict sent shockwaves across social media and news platforms. Many people expressed their opinion on the case. Some were sympathetic towards Sarah, believing her story, while others felt justice had been served for Jorge Torres. The streets of Winter Park, Florida, where this tragic event unfolded, were haunted by what happened that night. Local residents were left questioning how such an unimaginable event could happen in their community. In the weeks after the trial, Sarah Boone was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Her life, as she once knew it, came to an abrupt end. Families, friends, and bystanders had to reckon with the reality of loss and complexity of the human relationships between these two. As we reflect on the case, it's a reminder of the importance of healthy relationships and how quickly things can spiral out of control. It also highlights that behind every crime, there's a deeper story of human emotion, conflict, and tragedy. Sometimes we forget that those involved in crimes are often people with histories, struggles, and conflicts that may lead them down paths we can't fully understand. The Sarah Boone Suitcase murder serves as a painful lesson on the consequences of rage, poor choices, and reckless behavior. As we conclude today's video, let's keep Jorge Torres and the loved ones he left behind in our thoughts and prayers. Every case tells a story, and it's vital to remember the human cost to these events. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's story, please subscribe and leave us a comment down below. And join us the next time for another fascinating case from the world of true crime. Until next time, stay safe and take care.